What up? What up? Shout out to everybody in YouTube land. It's your boy C Boogie Productions, man. We coming right back at you with another good live stream on a good Tuesday night. We got the co-host I love to do the most, man. We got Rose in the building.
Hey.
And we're gonna chop it up, man. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to everybody that really been supporting the movement. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at CBoogieProduction. Quick announcement. This Saturday, May 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we got the virtual self-improvement summit. All you got to do is go to Eventbrite/virtual self-improvement summit, and you can sign up for the virtual summit. You know what I mean? We got some good speakers, man. Shout out to Ron Wills. Shout out to all the other guys, man. We're going to have a really good time. It's going to be a joyous occasion, man. A lot of people been asking me because, excuse me, they can't make it out to, the normal summits, because it's a lot. People got to fly, get hotels, if they don't live in the area or whatever. Right. And at the end of the day, a lot of people have been asking me since the first summit, like, are y'all going to film it? Are y'all going to have a Zoom? Y'all gonna do a live? Can I access it? Is there a link? Right. And this is the opportunity for that right now. I always wanted to do a virtual summit, but the self-improvement summit is more powerful in person. Like, you've been to a couple yourself.
Very empowering.
You know what I mean? And I never wanted that feeling to go away, because you know how we do. Like, we do the summit. It's pretty much.
It's eventful.
I mean, for me, it's like a whole weekend thing. You know what I mean? Because my summit starts on Friday and it doesn't end till like Sunday evening. So it's like a whole weekend thing. And I wanted to just give people an experience. But for this one in particular, man, we're going to do it online. It's going to be a virtual summit, man. And just come, man, get some good information, some good fellowship, chop it up, man. And, we're going to have some fun. So go to Eventbrite/virtual self-improvement summit. You can sign up, and hopefully I'll see y'all there. But we're going to jump right into the topic, man. Starting out, man, we got a super chat from my boy, DJ813. He sent $9.99. He said, what's good, Boogie? Just here to show love. Show more love. Right. You know what I mean? Shout out to DJ813, man. He a good dude, man. He always in here with the positive energy as well. Shout out to Eric Hudson. Shout out to Worship the King and everybody else in there. So, what's wrong with people today? That's what we're going to talk about, man. We're going to talk about some heavy topics. We're going to talk about some lighthearted subjects. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to tell some jokes. Maybe we'll tell some stories. But that's the number one question that I have. What's wrong with people today? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, man, honestly, I see a number of things, right? You got a group of people that love to keep themselves in isolation. You know what I'm saying? They got the whole, I'ma do me. I see you when I see you. You know what I mean? Holla back. You dig? They got that attitude where they in 100% isolation. They only deal with people when they absolutely need to. Right. And then, they by themselves. And not to say there's anything wrong with it. Isolation is good, but I think a lot of people skills start to erode over time. Because we forget that social skills become a perishable skill if you don't use it, is what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? You constantly got to fine tune your social skills, because we should be able to adapt to every situation and every place that we go, right?
Right.
So, again, we got those people that want to isolate themselves. And then you got other people that they can't spend no time by themselves. Like, you ever meet somebody like that?
Definitely.
No, real talk. Like, it's always a function, a party, an event. Even days they got nothing to do. They scrolling on Instagram trying to see what's popping. They starting to make stuff up just to be busy. And, you got a bunch of fake busy people out here, because you could be doing a whole lot, but it accumulates to nothing.
Right. Right.
And I met a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I was like that.
Oh, hell no. Real talk. What's going on, Isaiah B? No, I'm square business, man. You can be doing a whole lot in life. Just 7 days a week, from the time you wake up to the time you lay your head on your pillow at night, is filled with just junk. And maybe only 25% of your day was filled with something that can really prosper you for real.
Right.
You just busy for no reason. And then when you look back on it, when it's time to reflect, you like, yo, man, it ain't get me nowhere. So really, we should seek balance. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't want to be too isolated, but you don't want to be too busy and just filling your calendar up with just pointless activities for the sake of just doing it.
Right.
To get pictures on Instagram or whatever the case. So, you know what I mean? We got that group of people. They can't spend any time by themselves. And when you by yourself, this is your time to reflect. We all need time and moments where it's just us.
You can hear yourself think. You can listen to your thoughts and really analyze your life. And a funny thing my mom used to say is, I need to go outside and think about my life.
I like to say that as well.
Yeah, and it's a real thing. Because a lot of times when you're around other people, their thoughts become your thoughts, and it's not your true thoughts sometimes. It's not your first thought. So it's important.
Like one of the things I have in my life is I find myself taking long drives quite often. You know what I'm saying? And particularly, you know, when I'm by myself, a lot of people think it's weird, man, but I'll take hours just to cut the radio off and just think. I'm thinking about my next move. I might be thinking about the next podcast. I might be thinking about something I want to write in a book. I might be just thinking about life in general. I might just be analyzing the way the earth circles the sun. For real. But I'm dead. Whatever I'm thinking about, I'm in deep thought about something. But at the end of the day, I get these moments where I don't even want to hear music. I just cut the radio off and just drive. And this is my time where I'm in deep thought. And like, you know what I realize when I'm in deep thought like this?
What did you realize, baby?
I feel like I'm entering a different realm, a different state, you know, within my consciousness. You know what I mean? When I'm reflecting over something over and over and I'm getting new angles on what happened. It's like sports, right? We all like sports. And y'all know after a game, you got to go back and review the tape.
Oh,
you know what I mean? The coach put everybody in a room and they put the tape up and everybody review the tape. And then, you know, the coach critiques every player one by one.
Right. And there might be some tapes, you know, that you didn't see, like on different angles, right?
It's parts of the tape that we'll never see unless we reflect, period. You see what I'm saying? It's parts of that tape that we have to go back and review. We got to reflect. You know what I mean? But
Right.
most of all, before you even get to that point, like, you know what got to be present? Truth. Truth. And there's no other place where truth can be omnipresent with no judgment than by yourself. You know what I mean? And if a person can't do that, if you can't be isolated by yourself, just you and God and the world, at that point, if you can't be truthful, you might be a sociopath. No, real talk. Because, you know, you'll never want to get to a point where you lying to yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
You can lie. You can lie to your moms about coming in late at night, or you can lie to your manager about why you took off work, but you don't want to lie to yourself, man.
That's true.
But I think a lot of people have gotten to that point where, honestly, we've gotten so comfortable and used to lying, right?
Right.
That we starting to believe our own lies.
Oh, yeah. That's
Real shit.
That's a dangerous place. A dangerous place.
It's a very dangerous place. You know what I mean? It's a very dangerous place.
Shut Eye.
Huh?
Shut Eye from that movie.
Real talk.
Yeah.
So like we never want to get to a point where, you know, we starting to believe our own lies, man. And truth is really the only thing that can really propel us to the next level. I mean, honestly, man, you know, we so void of truth because here's what's going on, Rose. And we're going to be completely transparent and honest real quick.
Okay.
Peep game. A lot of us, man, we only want to accept truth from certain people, from our ideals on what we think the truth should come in. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Real talk. Like, if somebody don't fit our ideal in our mind, and this go for men and women, a lot of times we reject that person off top. We don't even give that person a chance. This is a true story. We don't even give that person a chance. And in life, because you know life is very unpredictable, man.
Right.
We don't know what package our blessings gonna come in, or our next message to get us to the next level, our next opportunity. You see what I'm saying? We don't know that it could be a millionaire walking the street that have an opportunity of a lifetime, but because they don't fit the mold of what society say a millionaire should look like, or a person that gives opportunities, then yo, man, we reject it off top, man. So we start to pick and choose who we want our truth from, and I just think that's a dangerous place to be too. Think about YouTube or social media, right?
Right.
You know, we got algorithms, we got like buttons, we got people that we can subscribe to. So we can fashion a world, we can fashion an environment based around our ideals only and our biases, but it doesn't mean you're truth seeking. It means you want confirmation bias. And typically that's what we want in life. I mean, if we're gonna keep it a brick, we don't want to operate in truth. Because if we operated in truth, if we truly want to operate in truth, our life would show that that's what we want to do. But as human beings, we downright discriminate on the messenger.
Right.
Real talk.
That's true.
Real talk. And you know, a lot of this stuff is affecting relationships too. I can give you some insight on that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you speak on what I just said. You know, if you want to comment on how we discriminate on the truth and the messenger, and you know what I mean, how we only want certain messages from certain people. Like, that's crazy.
That is true. I do find myself, if I don't see a woman as an ideal woman in what I deem as ideal, or if I feel like I'm doing better than her, I don't think I will want advice from her. And a lot of times, this is me speaking truthfully, a lot of times that's quite wrong, because that woman in her life, she may have more information to give me, and I'm just disregarding her. And it is wrong. It is wrong. So, you know, I do that.
Well, it's not always about advice either. Let me go in and hit that one time. Sometimes just experiencing somebody can teach us so much about ourselves. And again, whether it's advice or just experiencing someone that's in your orbit, that's in your life, we could be blocking off so much that we'll never make it to the next level, because without these experiences, you may think you get into that level, but it's going to knock you down because you don't have the knowledge, you ain't got the wisdom, you ain't have the wherewithal, you don't have the scar tissue to operate on that level, because we rejected so many experiences that we should have had based on, but I like to just say flat out discrimination. Look.
Because you're missing out on the test that life will give you.
Facts.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Facts. I mean, you know, but again, like I said earlier, Rose,
yeah,
the test that life gives us, we don't know what package that's going to come in.
Right.
We don't know when, where, that time and place that's going to happen, where you have an experience of a lifetime that really opened up your mind and opened up your heart and just gave you some more clarity on life itself, gave you insight on yourself, you know what I mean? Or just gave you some information that you can use that you couldn't find anywhere else. We don't understand these things.
Huh.
You did?
Because a lot of times we might think we're patient, or we might think, oh, yeah, nobody's going to talk to me that way, until life will test us and bring us a person that would challenge us. And we're like, damn, am I really who I say I am? Or who I thought I was?
Think about relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm talking about more romantic relationships, specifically what I'm speaking of. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and reset the room. Shout out to everybody. This is the Nerve of You podcast. We're coming at you live on this excellent Tuesday night. I'm sitting here with the co-host that seems to do the most. We got Rose in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
And right now, man, we just chopping it up about real life, man. I call this the therapy episode, man. You know what I mean? We talking about a bunch of different things. If you got a question, all you got to do is super chat it. I guarantee we'll make it to your question, man, in a timely fashion. But back to the podcast. So if we think about relationships, right?
Right.
Truth be told, how many people have came across somebody in life that probably can suit most of their needs? Not all. You're never going to find nobody that can suit 100% of your needs, but most of your needs. And we walk right by them because we don't like the package it comes in. But we get out here on a dating scene and we find somebody that we want. You know, I'm talking about package-wise. You see what I'm saying? The outside packaging of it, right? So, boom. We find somebody that we want package-wise, but most of our needs that we should be getting handled. I'm talking about for anything long term, anything substantial. They don't even have it in them. Matter of fact, you know, they kind of having a way with us. You know what I'm saying? They don't even really appreciate us.
Right. And we're left like proving.
And then, you know, we realize this over time, but it's really our fault because if you think about it, how many people have we passed just on a day to day, but we didn't even give them a chance. See, here's my thing. When you don't even have an open mind about shit, you're not even going to give somebody a chance to prove themselves in your life or prove that value. You see what I'm saying? And if you put all the value on the packaging, this is the fake out. And I'm going to explain that. If we put all the value on the packaging and not on the person, because who a person is, I'm talking about on the inside, within their heart, is going to dictate how they treat you, period.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person is just a cranky, grumpy, mean, bitter person, it's a matter of time. I mean, keep it about. It's
true.
It's a matter of time they're going to take it out on you. You see what I'm saying? And that's the danger of only picking a good package. You see what I'm saying? But that's the fake out. Like, how many women out here, let me get to the men too, but how many women out here, right?
Right.
They put so much emphasis in that packaging on the outside, but every aspect of their life is in disarray. I mean, you don't have to give a percentage, but it's a lot, right?
A lot.
It's too many.
Yeah.
I mean,
70%.
Wow. I've bumped into women that was drop dead gorgeous in the club. We talking about pow, head done, fatty banging, heels on, nails, feet done. And you go to their crib, they got dishes in the sink, they got a ring around their tub. You see what I'm saying? They got a car tire that's damn near flat. You know what I mean? Bills is due. Kids is wearing dirty sneakers, stuff like that. And you would think like, damn, woman, if you put half that energy that you put into your packaging, into the other sectors of your life, you'll be unstoppable.
Right.
But this is the fake out. Same thing with men. How many guys that you probably met that was fronting so hard, like they jumped in the car they couldn't afford, but it was probably a foreign car or something really nice. Right. They threw on a real nice watch, some nice shoes, but that was the fake out for the woman, and he trying to act like he high value, but he ain't doing nothing but capping. But it was the outside packaging that got to the woman. Now this same woman is upset online crying or Clubhouse crying because our baby daddy ain't shit. But at the end of the day, she didn't take time to get to know the man. She took time and well, didn't even take time. I take that back. Ew, DJ Scratch the record. She didn't even take time. She off top fell for the packaging because she had an ideal on already in her mind of one, what a high value man is and what he should look like. And she already had an ideal on, you know what, these are the guys that I can hitch my wagon to, and these are the guys that I can't. And then now she caught up in a world of trouble because she fell for the banana. Back in the day, we called it the banana and tailpipe.
Oh, I never heard that.
You ain't never heard the banana in the tailpipe?
Nah. I heard of okie doke.
Well, the okie doke came after the banana in the tailpipe. No, real talk.
Okay.
So when my generation came,
I'm born in the 90s.
when my generation came, we started saying the okie doke. Okay. But before that, they called it the banana in the tailpipe. Oh. But they fell for the okie doke. Plain and simple. Based on the packaging. And, you know, we see this with a lot of women these days. You know, a lot of women, they want to fit one ideal. If I had to give you an example, let's say that Kim Kardashian is the prototype for a lot of women. Right. Black women, white women, Hispanic women. She would be the ideal look for a lot of women. And to each his own. I'm not saying these women are right and wrong. I'm not here to discuss the morality of it. But what I'm saying is we truly forget what beauty is. You know what I'm saying? We get beauty mixed up with aesthetics, man. It's not the same thing. Because let me tell you something as a man. I can look at a woman that's aesthetically beautiful. I mean, excuse me, aesthetically beautiful. Well, yeah, I mean, that just look good aesthetically and be like, wow, you got a nice ass, a flat stomach, good breasts, your face is proportioned. Aesthetically, I can acknowledge that, but it doesn't mean beauty-wise she moves me. You see what I'm saying? See, there's a comfort level that comes with a woman's beauty. You dig? You got some women that aesthetically may not be on that level of a Kim K, but I met some women that was so comfortable in their own skin. They had warm hearts. They was nice. They was kind. You dig? They was feminine. That it was the entire package that made them beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And not that they were all the way ugly people, but they don't fit that ideal.
Right.
And here's the secret to beauty. I'm gonna break it down. Right? Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Peace. I see y'all, man. Y'all do me one favor. Just hit the like button on your way in, man. We live on a Tuesday night, man. So here's the thing, like I was saying, right? Here's the thing about beauty, and this is what men and women have to digest, and I want people to pay attention, right? And let me give you a couple of examples that I just downloaded to my brain. Think of the word usefulness, and I want everybody to think about this word, usefulness, being useful. And if y'all hold on, I'm gonna take you somewhere. So we got the word usefulness, right?
Right.
Boom. For a lot of people, you know, we wasn't born with a silver spoon in our mouth. So for a lot of us, our first car was probably like a little putt-putt from a used car lot.
I love it.
Like, you know how it go, like your mom or your dad or whoever get their little tax money, like, you got your driver's license, let me get you a little putt-putt. But in our eyes, that was the best car we ever had.
Oh, reliable.
Real talk. Like, couldn't nobody tell you, especially after you spruced it up a little bit, as much as you could to fit your specs.
Right.
You like, damn, man, I love my car.
Everybody remembers their first car.
Some people will never get rid of their first car. You can't tell them nothing. Like, do you understand that 70-year-old people still got them Oldsmobiles from back in the day?
Oh.
And they only got about 50,000 miles on it. Probably some old white lady. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real talk.
Yeah.
But they never get rid of it. But what I'm saying is, the beauty, it came because, well, we was able to see the beauty in it because that particular car had a use in our life. So we had to be open, whether we wanted the car at first or not, but it really grew on us, and we gave the car a chance, and we realized all the times that it was raining outside and snowing outside, or all the times that we had to rush and get somewhere, and all the memories, and we realized this car got us through so much. All the little fender benders, and their car was crashed up, and your car just had a little scratch on it or whatever, and you realize, like, damn, I really like this ride, man.
Right.
Or I'll give you another example. Shout out to everybody that live in the city, the inner city. You ever been waiting on a bus in a freezing cold? I mean, on the bus stop, rather, in a freezing cold, and you angry as hell? Mm-hmm. But then you see that bus coming down the street. No, real talk. And it's the most beautiful. or like, yo, I've been on the bus stop after work when it was raining. Yo, you ever been on the bus stop?
Yes.
I'm talking about real talk. And you done forgot your umbrella?
Snow, yes.
And you out there trying to find cover under anything you can. But you see that bus coming 2 blocks away?
And God.
It's the most beautiful sight you ever seen. Like, typically you hate riding the bus, but that day you want to kiss the bus seats. But let me tell you what happened. See, what happened when you seen that bus, this is what happened to you. You know what I mean? You felt the sense of, I'm tripping. You found the sense of relief is what I'm trying to say. You seen the usefulness in a bus, and ultimately, it got you out of those elements and made you feel good. So when we truly feel good on the inside, when something makes us happy, if only temporary, our defenses go down and we can see the beauty in things. You see what I'm saying? Real talk.
Right.
So being useful in life is ultimately a great thing, but we don't even see it. Now, it's a double-edged sword. Right. Because you could be misused, but I'm not talking about that today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the next therapy episode. Right. But what I'm saying is, it's a lot of beauty in just being useful. Because if you think about it, when somebody can meet our needs, I'm talking about our basic human needs, right? When somebody can do that, ultimately, we can feel good throughout our day. Somebody sending you a text, hey, beautiful. Somebody, bringing you breakfast in bed. Somebody bringing you flowers or a card or, I mean, just meeting your needs.
Rubbing your back, your shoulder, yeah.
Yeah, so like when we got the basic things covered, we start to feel good. And the more that we feel good inside ourselves, at the end of the day, the more we can accept the beauty in other people. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have an open mind for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of men tend to get upset over time at a woman that's just pretty, but she can't do nothing else. They complain about her too.
Right.
And like those are the guys that I want away from me, because you realize, dog, it's not the women, it's you. You complain about the women that work and get a bag, get her own money. She don't need your money. But then you complain about the pretty trophy wife that you pick, but she don't know how to cook clean. All she know how to do is look pretty. You complain about her too. I'm like, dog, I don't know what would make you happy. Go get a blow up doll or something. Real talk.
Right. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So, beauty, man, is a lot more than what we say it is, man. You know what I mean? And value. Value is based on your usefulness as a person. Because let's say as a woman, right? Let's say you got a certain skill set. Whatever that may be, I don't know what it could be, but whatever that is, I have to have use of your skill set in order for it to be valuable to me. Like, you dig what I'm saying?
That's true.
So value is relative, man. You could go on a job interview tomorrow. Your resume could be stacked and packed, yo, with a bunch of stuff, but if you're not qualified for that job,
right? If none of that is put for use at that job, then it won't make sense.
You are not valuable to that job. Now, you might have been a vice president at a bank, but now at another facility, you might be working on the warehouse floor because your skill sets didn't translate. Value is relative, man. And that's one thing we got to realize. Everybody don't have the same skill set. We're not supposed to. I mean, that's crazy to even think about. But you can be of use and useful to somebody and something if you just open up your eyes and have an open mind.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being 100, man. So I think a lot of people truly need to wake up and understand how they hurting themselves, yo.
I think they're hurting themselves because they're not understanding themselves on what they truly need to value. So they don't even know what to look for. If you value someone to really emotionally connect with you, then you're going to value that. You're not going to value the other things as much. You're going to be looking for that. So a lot of times we don't know ourselves, so we don't know what to value. And that's a big problem because you don't have an aim. So anything can get your attention.
Real talk. The purpose of life is to get to know ourselves, period. Because I know we have a lot of, relationship talk. We talk about this or that and online and maybe junior high school topics or whatever. And we have fun and entertainment, but that is a deeper meaning to life, man. Like, real talk. Yeah. And we don't talk about it often. And I get it. It's not that popular, but that is a deeper meaning to this whole shit. And it's not about us.
Right.
See, we have gotten to a place as people, yo, that we truly think that we was put on earth to be pleased by everybody else. Yeah. That is not the meaning of life. You know what I'm saying? That is not the meaning of life. But I don't even want to get too deep into that because I kind of want to stay on subject. But that shit is not the meaning of life.
That's the meaning of life to a baby. That's not the meaning of life to an adult.
But you know what? You're never going to find the meaning of life unless you, for one, you're searching diligently for it. And two, you're not going to find your purpose in life until you switch your mindset to what can I get from life? And your mindset switch to what can I give to the world? You see what I'm saying? A lot of people got the mindset of what can I get from the world? And all they want to do is get. You're never going to find your purpose like that.
Yeah, the best business ideas, the best business people of the world have that mentality of what can I give to the world?
What can I offer the world?
Yeah, what can I offer? And that's what makes them billionaires, millionaires, because of that thought process. So that's true.
How the hell you going to find your purpose in life? Always think about your pleasure. If your pleasure, real talk, if your pleasure in life is to please yourself 100% of the time, you don't want to give back to anybody or anything. I mean, truth be told, you're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect world. Like, do you understand how perfect this world is? Like, the world is so perfect. Like, God made everything so perfect. And we screwing it up as humans because if you think about it, the earth understands when it needs to rain. The earth understands when it needs to snow. The earth understands when it needs to be hot. The sun knows it needs to come up. The sun knows it needs to come down. Like, God made all of this perfect. Like, just the way the stars are lined up is perfect. And if those stars ever get unlined, we screwed. Right. You know what I'm saying? But just sticking to the topic, everything is already set out perfect.
In order for us to survive.
In order for us to survive.
And live.
And live.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
I never even thought
God
about
created
that.
this earth perfect. The way the earth goes around the sun. I mean, if you think about it, if the earth get off axis a little bit, we could burn to death. But God won't allow it. Like this is a perfect cosmic situation. You did like even our bodies as humans are perfect. I'm not talking about aesthetically. I'm just talking about God understands. Look, a man needs certain genitalia. A man needs a certain way that his body is formed. A woman needs a certain genitalia, the way her body is formed. A woman needs a certain type of emotions to birth and take care of children. A man needs a certain type of a scar tissue to get out here and suffer the environment. Like God understood this long before we was here.
Yeah, our bodies were built to suffer. Like when we go to the gym, we're putting our bodies through intense suffering in that moment, but it was built for it. You know, it gets stronger, it gets better, it adapts. So
it should.
Yeah, so that's true.
And it's so crazy because, you know, we tend to lose sight on these things because as humans, we just are extremely flawed and just contradictory, hypocritical, and all of these bad things that we should fight so hard. You know, for a lot of Muslim people, you know, they just got over Ramadan, and Ramadan is bigger than just about fasting. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. That's a part of it, but you know, really, you don't even really have to fast because fasting is not that. There are exceptions to fasting for Ramadan. You know, if you're sick, or you know what I'm saying. You know, if you're traveling, you don't have to do it. You know, it's other exceptions for fasting, but Ramadan is to strip you. Right, the purpose is to strip you from one of, well, not one, but some of your basic carnal needs, and you know it's supposed to strip you down until what word am I looking for? It's not to humble you, but it's really to get you closer to God because you have no distractions. Pretty much is what I'm saying.
Right.
And Ramadan is not just about fasting; it's about controlling your tongue. Pause. It's about. I got to put the pause, but it's about controlling your tongue. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't involve yourself in any salacious conversations. You shouldn't talk about nobody. You should be friendly to your neighbor.
It'll bring you clarity.
You know what I'm saying? Like you should be, you know, friendly to your imam. You know what I'm saying? Like Ramadan is just a lot more than just fasting.
So
you know what I mean?
it's a reset.
It should be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It should be. So, but that's one of the benefits of it. At the end of the day, it's very important. So I would even call it a wake-up call for a lot of people. If you've been eating steak and lobster every day for the past couple years because you hit a lick, but you go through Ramadan and that steak and lobster not available when you want it, you got no choice but to seek something higher than yourself. If not, then you're going to break Ramadan. You're going to break your fast. And many people do it. You know, you're not supposed to drink. You're not supposed to smoke. You know what I mean? You're supposed to treat your body as a temple, as you should do it every day. But that's one of the purposes of it, man. It's not just about fasting. I mean, anybody can fast. But Ramadan is fasting and getting closer to God. You know what I'm saying? It's a dual meaning to it. We can fast for the next week. You know what I mean? You don't need to be Muslim to do that. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because, you know, a lot of times we truly forget that there is a deeper meaning to life, man.
There's a saying of short-term satisfaction versus long-term fulfillment.
Break it down.
Long-term fulfillment is when you value something that is more meaningful versus a short-term satisfaction where you want to be satisfied right now and there's not much meaning to what you're doing or anything. There's not much meaning to it. You just want to do it because you want to be happy in that moment. So that's why you know, it's better to pursue something that's more meaningful than fast, readily available, expedient. It's It's not good to live a life of, and that's what a life of a hedonistic life. That's why it's so terrible. And you go, you know, you fall really hard when you live a life like that, because nothing can ultimately make you fulfilled if you get everything you want readily available. You didn't even work for it. You like your suffering isn't even like justified. You know, your suffering is justified when you value something and you're seeking long-term fulfillment.
Well, that's a fact. For one, that's a Snapple top fact, and really for two, everybody need a place of contentment too. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you shouldn't strive for more, because you should. But if you're never content, meaning pretty much, man, if you don't have any gratitude for where you at, then you know, like you're never gonna be able to truly assess a situation from where you came from to the place that you have gotten yourself, you know, through hard work and perseverance. And if you don't have a place of contentment, you can end up chasing a ghost, because you never want to have that the grass is greener syndrome, right? You know, and I think that's a part of a lot of the issues we having as people these days too. A lot of people think the grass is greener on the other side, and it's not always like that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be a balanced individual. You know, it's a lot of people that leave their current jobs for another job and completely regret it, but they can't go back. It's a lot of people that swap out friends. It's a lot of people that leave relationships or marriages or whatever the case, man, move from city to city. The grass is not always greener. Now, you got to live with your decisions. Once you make a decision, you got to stand on it. But, you know, I would never say settle, but you got to find that sweet spot in the middle of knowing what's good for you and what's bad for you. And ultimately, you got to know yourself. Ultimately, you got to roll with some truth. You know what I'm saying? The grass is not always greener, man. Like,
and if it is, it's fake. It's because it's fake.
It could be too good to be true as well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, as people, right, we have to work our way through these decisions within ourselves before we make them. You know how they say you shouldn't make a hasty decision. Take some time to think about it. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes a person can go see a divorce lawyer and they'll tell you, come back in a week. You know what I mean? Because if you come in here upset and flustered, or you come in here a little frustrated, you want to get it done now, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to waste their time and do all this paperwork, and then you drop the paperwork. They're like, nah, come back in a week.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And like they say, never make a decision when you're emotional.
Right.
It's the same thing. You see what I'm saying? Boogie, what's the best life advice you have for someone? Appreciate that, DJ 813.
Ooh, that's a heavy question. I'm glad you ain't say that to me.
Well, he might ask you the same question.
Hell.
Yo, man, my 34 years on Earth, you know, I'm still learning. So, you know, it could change in the next 5 years. But from what I gathered so far, man, my best life advice is truly, man, you can't control anybody in life. You have to put that energy that you're using trying to control somebody else, you have to put it into yourself and control your emotions, control your perspective, control how you see the world. You know what I mean? Control if you're going to have a good day or a bad day, because ultimately that comes down to a decision. Control your response to every situation, not just always react, but control your responses. That's really it. Like, that's going to define if you have a great life or a life of heartache and pain and disappointments and upsets and things of that nature. Because if you spend your days trying to control the next person, you always going to be disappointed, period.
Everybody in life will disappoint you.
At one time or another.
Even if they didn't even want to.
May not be on purpose.
They might pass away, and it's not even their fault, and it still disappoints you. 'Cause you're
Often,
hurt.
yeah, that's a fact. Oftentimes, it's not on purpose.
Right. Yeah, they were just living their life, making decisions that was best for them without even understanding, unknowingly and knowingly, it could hurt you.
And then also, too, I'll put a finer point on that. One thing that I like to use, one tool is I like to look at intent. Because you brought up the word disappointment. If somebody disappointed me based on a decision that was best for them and their own interests, and I understood the intent wasn't malicious, I just get over it. Like, you know what? I would have did the same thing, if I'm being honest. You see what I'm saying?
Right. You so reasonable.
Real talk. Like, damn, man.
I
did the same
it.
thing. Right. I did the same thing. But if I analyze the situation and I realize, man, you wronged me because you got hate in your heart and I ain't do nothing to you, then that's a complete different ballgame.
Right.
So I like to judge people off intent. Not to say that you got to accept every behavior from a person. Not to say that you got to settle. Not to say that you need to let somebody walk over you. That's not what I'm saying. But before you make a long-term decision, look at the intent. Look at the intent. Because how many friends we have casted out our life and brought them back? Because we was able to get through the smoke and the fog. And we went back and looked at the intent, like, they ain't do that on purpose, man. And you went back, you was able to see the whole chessboard and look at the circumstances or why they made a decision. And you realize they wasn't trying to wrong me. They made a decision for themselves.
Yeah, they was trying to win, but that's why they say, it's how you play the game. How you play the game is just as important as winning the game or losing. Well, yeah, winning the game. Because how you play the game, if you're unfair, if you do things to spite somebody, like if you're winning your competition, if you're beating your competition, but you overdo it and you make fun of them, or if that leans towards your character. Now your character is flawed. So what's the point of winning the game if you compromise your character? So because everybody wants to win, and we understand that. So that's why we're looking at the person like, okay, I get it. I get why you did that, because you want to win. I get it, but it's how you do it.
I mean, everybody is going to move toward their best interests at some point. You see what I'm saying? Like that's just what we do as people. Everybody going to do it at some point, but we can't get caught up in that like that. Like, we got to be able to discern what was used for our harm and what was just somebody moving toward their best interest. And this is why, even in relationships, I mean, I know it sounds corny, but you need to take time to vet somebody to make sure y'all interests align. That way, it's not all of these forces dragging y'all apart. You see what I'm saying? You going this way, she going that way, or whatever the case is. But if y'all really took some time to get to know each other, you realize we got a lot of similar interests. Now we can step and move forward and build on top of that. But at the end of the day, man, you got to be careful with that. Because at some point of the whole situation, relationship, whatever you want to call it, somebody is going to put their interests first. Now, how you accept that, how you take that, that's on you. I mean, if you claim you like somebody, you love somebody, or whatever the case, you should be able to take it pretty swell. You know what I'm saying? But swell. It's one of my, it's about the lingo. But everybody not gonna be able to do that.
Right.
Some people take that hard and they're like, oh, you know what I mean? They don't like me and F them and all of this crap. But you ain't really take your time to really get to know that person, man, and figure out if they're your interests align. You know what I mean? I totally forgot. No, I was trying to search for the word because I had another word in mind. But your interests align.
Right.
That's very, very important. You know that, right?
Yes.
Like, real talk, because
you guys have the same aim. You value the same. You know what? When your interests align, that means you value the same, almost the same things. So you'll know you guys are going to combine your energies towards what you guys value together. Not
One
just
goal.
you. Yeah, one goal. Not just you valuing something and then the other person valuing something else. You will always bump heads. That's not your teammate. That's your opponent
That's
in
your
a way.
op.
Yeah, that's your op, actually. That's dangerous. Yeah, that's dangerous. So at the end of the day, I think it's very important to find out what that person values. Because as soon as you realize that that person is valuing something that's detrimental to you or that's not aligning with what you want, then you guys don't need to be together. You guys don't need to be around each other either.
Well, it's like this as well. You know, how many people, man, and this really go for men and women. You know, how many people attach themselves to everything outside of them to try to make them happy. And over time in life, we realize that's a temporary fix.
A short-term satisfaction.
You know what I'm saying? That's a temporary fix to an issue that really, you know, shouldn't even been an issue. But at the end of the day, we attach ourselves to these false attachments and things that we think going to make us happy, and we end up chasing a ghost, man. Because you're going to need more and more and more if you don't come with your own happiness. So if I buy a pair of sneakers or whatever, if I buy a nice watch, or if it takes that watch to ultimately make me happy, literally something wrong with me, man. You know what I'm saying? Whether I want to admit it or not, but just on face value. If it took this watch to build my esteem, real talk, to build my self-esteem, something is wrong. You dig? Now, if I come into it with my esteem already intact, and the watch is just an add-on, like, yeah, you know, I deserve a nice watch. Boom. You know what I'm saying? But you know how I go. You know what they used to say back in the day? The man make the money don't make the man.
Right. Preach.
The man wear the clothes don't wear the man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So none of these things should really be attached to our self-esteem, but it is. I understand what society we live in, and I understand how important material shit is, and all these type of things. It's like a man that got no confidence around women unless he's in a parking lot and she can see his car. Now, in the club, he said nothing to the women.
Right.
He ain't got no rap. He ain't got no game. He was quiet. He couldn't even drink his drink confident. But he hit the parking lot because he hit a lick in life. He got a really nice ride.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he's stunting. All of a sudden, you know, he got confidence to approach the women. But that's fake confidence, man. Because what's going to happen if that car get taken away from you? What's going to happen if that watch get taken away from you? Like, truth be told, I ain't trying to be funny, but this is why a lot of hood niggas do good. Because a nigga in the hood be on a bus stop.
Right. They got mad confidence.
Let's keep it real. A hood nigga. Let me reset the room. We gonna get on these hood niggas. Shout out to every. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody out there in YouTube world. Shout out to the Dime Game Division. This the Never You podcast coming at you live on Tuesday night. We got the co-host that love to do the most, man. We got Rose in the building, y'all. So, boom. That's why a lot of hood niggas, man. A lot of people don't realize why they get a lot of women. I'm not saying all hood dudes, but a lot of hood dudes, because truth be told, they have graduated past that. I need a good job, a good car, and a good watch. Them niggas is like, forget it, because I ain't got nothing to lose.
Right.
A dude can be on the bus stop. It could be a woman that stopped at the stop sign. He trying to holler at her.
That's true.
Don't even, it seems like it doesn't even cross his cerebral cortex that he's on the bus stop.
And get mad at her if she don't like him.
A lot of times he get her. Because the woman be like, the audacity, the nerve of this nigga.
The nerve of you.
The nerve of this nigga. And now they intrigued.
Like, why?
Like,
There's gotta be a reason
he's
why.
so confident. This dude is on the bus stop. Don't care. Yo, man, a lot of times, man, it really come down to that. And that's something, honestly, that you can't fake.
That's true. That is true.
Real talk, like, some dudes, man, look, if you got insecurities, I would say fix that before you get out here in the dating world. Hold on.
They got it right, though.
Who?
That guy got it right.
The bus stop guy?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it don't take the car, the good job, because ultimately, when a person loves you, they love you. They don't love those things. So they got it right. He got it right.
Well, ideally, like, I understand what you're saying, and I agree, but ideally, it shouldn't take a nice watch in the car to get a woman. But let's put it in this perspective. If you're going to go fishing, you need the right bait, right?
Right.
Just 100, like, you need the right bait. So, ideally, a woman should just see a man for who he is, his character, and all that stuff we talk about, all this good stuff. But you want to make sure your bait is good. Now, if a man got the good bait, but when he take all that off, he's still a decent guy, that's the best. That's win-win.
Right.
But I think that's why a lot of people get caught up in BS and crap, because
They take what they could get.
well, we caught up on the bait. It's like a Christmas tree. We're sitting there just amazed by the ornaments and the lights. Don't even understand you ain't got one gift under that goddamn tree.
Right.
Real talk. You don't have one. You don't even have a stocking stuffer. You don't have one gift card. But because I was able to blind you with all the lights and the ornaments, that's going to satisfy you temporarily. So, I mean, like I say, ideally, yeah, but in real life, I mean,
He's not useful.
in real life, you're going to have, I mean, yeah, you're going to have some bait. The only way you won't need bait is truly you take your time to get to know somebody over time. Like, maybe y'all just started off as friends, but, you know, that's a rare case. And y'all just built your relationship over time. But if you meeting somebody, i.e. nightclub, if you just meet somebody in passing, if you meeting somebody at a shopping mall, whatever the case, where y'all don't have that much time to size each other up, you got to make sure your bait right. So I would never downplay that. You did?
I do have a question. Define status. Because if you have status, but you don't have like the car, the house, or anything else, right? A lot of times status trumps that. Why is that?
I mean, break that down a little bit more, what you asking me specifically.
I'm saying what is the value on if someone has status? Is it
as far as getting a woman, or just life in general?
Life in general. Is it because the majority of humans validated who you are? Like what is it about status that makes a person say, okay, that may be a good choice for me?
Well, let me say this. For one, it's more than one way to get status in this day and age. Like, how many people get on social media, but because they can take good pictures, they get, 75,000 followers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, in that world, they got status. Because that's the first thing people look at most of the time when they viewing your page or viewing your channel. They look at the views. So, it's not always this kind of process, this rigorous process that we go through to make it to the top. We pass people up, we sacrificed, you know what I mean? Them late nights, the blood, sweat, and tears, the setbacks, the getting down, getting back up, you know what I mean? Just never giving up. Ultimately, a lot of times in life, that's not the case anymore. Now, that was a time where, we went through these rites of passages in every facet of life, sports, at your job, you know what I mean, just whatever. But a lot of times it's not that right now because anybody can jump on social media and be anybody that they want to be, and they can cheat their way to the top. But basically, what I'm saying, to try to answer your question directly, I just had to say that it's more than one way to get status out here.
Like, let's say that guy is still on the bus, but a group of his friends was like, "Oh my God, hey, what's up? How are you?" And it came from guys that were, you know, well-to-do guys. They just brought status to him. They just added value to that guy, and the woman was like, "Oh wow, you impacted these guys' lives in this way. They're happy to see you."
I mean, I think in that situation, probably talking about more of a ranking leadership type of situation. Now,
okay. Well, real life status versus online, real world.
If you just want me to be honest, man, there's levels to everything. So, as men, we know who the alpha dogs is when they walk in the room. You can walk in one room, you might be the alpha. You walk in another room, you may not be that alpha.
Right.
I've been in the club with Ray Lewis, and I had to go sit behind the bar because this dude was the alpha of alphas. Real talk.
Not the alpha. Who's that? Ray Lewis.
He was a football player.
Okay.
Yeah, he played for the Ravens. So, but I wasn't crying about it. I didn't complain about it. No, I had to show love. Like, nah, that's him. Right. Period. So, and he has status too, but I'm just giving you an example. Like, we know the alphas, man. You know what I'm saying? And, or we could take that word out of it. We know the guys that got that it right there. You know what I'm saying? And you can accept it or you can fight against it, or you can boost your status and boost your profile to get on his level. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with some friendly competition, but at the end of the day, it just is what it is, man. So that's my thing, man. Status don't always bring you what you want. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, it's do you know how many guys with high positions at their job, finance, technology, certain things that still have so many problems with women? Like, truth be told, man, you got guys that out here making $250,000 a year that got to get online to get advice, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if status alone brought you the woman, then it'll be flipped upside down. Yeah. I'm just gonna read this super chat really quick.
Okay.
Appreciate the $10 super chat. I worship the king. Most women are not attracted to the average man with nothing to offer. That's just a fact. Most women marry men for the intrinsic value, not their internal. Money is a survival tactic. I mean, I wouldn't disagree. Personally, I think there's levels to that comment. Truth be told, because what I would add on to it is, I think a lot of women do get married for certain attachments and material possessions and security. But now we got to jump into this divorce rate. 70% of divorces are initiated by women. So if it was solely about the security aspect, the money aspect of things, then Dr. Dre wouldn't be getting a divorce. None of these celebrities would be getting divorces.
Right.
But
yeah,
at the end of the day, we all adapt to our environment, right? Meaning, if Dr. Dre is a billionaire, right, and his wife been living a billionaire's wife, multi-million to billionaire's life, let's say for 10, 15 years, she been having her way, well, getting her a new handbag, flying on private jets, upgrading her jewelry, she gonna adapt to that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's her new normal, yeah.
That's her new normal. So, over some time, it's like, it's only so many trips we can take. What else? You see what I'm saying? And then this is when the other things come into play because, sometimes it could be simple as, some women just feel they're not growing in a situation. Some women meet other men that they end up falling in love with, and they like, wow, that's what I kind of been missing. Like, You know, these handbags and this jewelry, that ain't gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. Or some women just be like, you know what? I'm just tired of it, man. I just want something different. So, you know, if it was all about the security, if that was 100% true, we wouldn't see any wealthy men getting any kind of divorces. But that's not true. That's not true. We get just as many wealthy men getting divorces as we get just normal Joes. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a lot more to that statement, and a lot of women get themselves into trouble marrying men solely for money. Now, I'm not against it, because you know my motto, you'd rather cry in a Benz or a Honda or Hyundai or, you know what I mean, whatever. Right. But I'm going to say go get the bag. But the only thing I want from women is don't jump online complaining later about men.
You made your choice.
That's the only thing I want. You can marry whoever for whatever reasons. I don't give a damn. The only thing I want from women is to stand on y'all decision, because in y'all heart, y'all knew why y'all married that man. Mm-hmm. Y'all knew he didn't really do it for you. But look, man, you know what I'm saying? Hey, that new Benz was shiny, period.
Right. You know what you value.
So don't come complaining later, oh, all men and men ain't this, and he don't care about my feelings, and he don't listen to me, and he told me to shut up. I throw you back to the projects, and he said your mama ain't this. Like, I don't want to hear that, personally, because you ain't staying in your lane, and then second of all, you signed up for that. That's all I got to say about that. And that's my only request of women.
And that's why that statement, if you lay in your bed, you sleep in the bed you laid. Like, that's one of the best quotes.
You make your bed, you gotta lay in it.
Right. I jacked it up.
It's all good, but that's just my thing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to, and I would tell the same thing to a man. Like, yo, you'll be a damn fool to marry a woman 100% based on how she look. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you understand what you bringing into your household? Do you understand that when that woman turn on you, when she flip on you, because that day could very well come.
Here's the number.
Man, what? Yeah. You about to have major issues on your hand. Or, let me give you another example. I'm going to break it down in the way many people don't.
Tell me, Boogie. Tell us.
The nerve in you niggas. So, a lot of times in life, we don't want to be forward thinkers, right? Because again, we so caught up in what we got going on right now, and we're not thinking about the future. Now, if a man marries a woman that don't give a damn about him, she only want the bread, or she just there to look good, we forget many times than not that life is so unpredictable. We cannot predict life if we try. So, God forbid, I could end up like I have many times in my life. I can end up in a hospital getting a procedure or some kind of major surgery done on me and wake up and my wife ain't even there. Do you know how good it feel when I would wake up from a surgery and I had a woman right there rubbing my head, maybe teaspoon feeding me ice chips and telling me it's going to be okay? I remember one time I woke up from one surgery crying, you know, coming off the anesthesia. It's the craziest, I don't know. But like coming up from the anesthesia, you be bugging out. And I remember one day, man, I bust out crying until I snapped out of it. But I had a woman right there to comfort me, and I knew she cared.
That's beautiful.
And what I'm saying is, we forget that there come a time in life where all of this superficial, petty shit don't even matter.
Right.
When life hits you, it get real.
Right. When we see an older couple, we don't see, oh my God, that's such a beautiful couple. Like, we don't think about the superficial things. Oh my God, he has a Lamborghini with this older lady. No, we care about, we see the beauty in the love that they have for each other that stood the test of time. That's what we admire. We don't admire the beauty in them because they're older. They're like what, 60, 80? So like
Is it 60 or 80?
like
Both.
Yeah, like so that's what we love to see. We love to see the love that they represent. And that's the beauty.
Well,
so that's what matters.
Well, you got to choose better. And see, like, that's the thing, too. Same thing go for women. Look, we forget that life happens. And when life happens, I want somebody beside me I can trust, period.
Right.
So,
facts.
And I'm solely speaking on any kind of long-term situation that people get themselves into, relationships and marriage or whatever. Yo, man, if you picking somebody 100% based on superficial things, then you got to stand on everything that come with that. Like me personally, I understand. Even as a young soldier, when I was in the army, I understand how fast life can change. Like I seen so much death, it's crazy. I don't even go to funerals no more. I'm tired of it. Like I'm anti-funeral at this point. But here's the point. I understand how quick life can change at the blink of an eye. Your whole circumstances can change. So I understand the meaning of loyalty, man.
Yo, betrayal is a B. Betrayal is something that really like everybody can say like that's terrible.
Facts.
You know, everybody.
So, there is value in loyalty, man. There's value in somebody having your back. There's value on trust. Not to say, and we get trust mixed up. Trust don't mean a person is always going to do things the way you want them to do it, or they're not going to make a mistake. Trust is 8 times out of 10 they're going to do the right thing.
Right.
And look, that's a damn good percentage.
I'm starting to think, what's worse than betrayal? What's worse than believing in somebody that you trust and they ultimately betray you? I don't even think there's nothing worse than that when it comes to a relationship. Well, killing. I think
That's a good question.
it's betrayal and then killing. That's the worst. But yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of deceitfulness out here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deceitfulness, but at the end of the day, it's just simple with me. I totally understand the value of finding somebody reliable on your team. You got to have a good team. You're not going to make it through life by yourself. I don't know why people act like they do. Oh, I did it by myself and I got it out the mud.
No,
Shut up.
Didn't. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You're a liar.
No, you didn't. So you telling me nobody ever blessed you with anything?
Right.
Like, that's very hard to believe.
Cat.
As a matter of fact, it's impossible to get through life by yourself without somebody extending their arm. So I don't even listen to stuff like that because I know it's cap. Is this a good motivational tool? Because, you know, there was seasons in life where we didn't have nobody. It was hard, but typically, look, man, you had somebody. But here's the point. You know, at the end of the day, Jones, we got to stop with the discrimination. You know what I'm saying? If I had to highlight anything from this whole episode is we got to have an open mind. We don't know what packages our blessings going to come in. And when I hear a lot of dudes online, they put so much emphasis on a woman's looks and nothing inside that woman even matters. I'm like, man, I got a major problem with that. Because here's the thing about looks that nobody can argue with. Looks go, they fade. I mean, seriously, they fade.
The beauty within never dies.
Looks fade. I mean,
true.
seriously.
That's true.
I mean, like, we're just gonna be 100. So what we talking about at the end of the day? I'm just being 100, man. And same thing with superficial material possessions. They come and go. I remember my homeboy Tavon, rest in peace. He told me when I was like 16, 15, he was like, yo, man, your money come and go, man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, don't even get attached to it. He was like, money won't come and go. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that you don't need money, but every time you get it, learn to keep it longer. One thing you learn about life is gonna come and go. Don't attach yourself to that. But as I got older, I understood what it meant. And truth be told,
It's a tool. Nothing more, nothing less.
money is a tool.
It's a tool.
And one thing I did realize very quickly in life, I'm just gonna speak for myself. And I ain't one of them dudes that say I never spent money on women. I have spent money on women, too much money on women. But what I'm saying is, many times that was something that I wanted to do. I never had a woman put pressure on me to spend, you know what I'm saying, money. I'm not talking about in a relationship. That's different. Relationship come with requirements, man. But I'm talking about just casual interactions with a woman. Like, oh, you got to do this, you got to. I never had an experience like that. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I came out my pocket, it's because I just wanted to. I was like, whatever, man, that don't really matter to me. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, my thing is, you know, it really does come and go. And
guys,
you can't be stunning like that.
And guys, if a woman is coming at you like that, either a hoe or you out your lane completely.
I mean,
completely. That's like a man coming
facts.
up to a woman like, yo, suck it or not. Like, what? You know, come on. Like, that's nah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying at the end of the day, people just need to be more in reality and operate more in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a price tag on it, man. And hey, man, ain't no coupons for life, man.
The best things in life is free. And that's so cliche, but it's true. All these cliche terms, like you said, there's so much truth in it, and it's so simple you might miss it. That, yeah.
But we only can understand that phrase if we truly been through something in life. Because you know, in life, like, you need the bad and the good. We wouldn't know good if it wasn't bad, and vice versa. But the reason that statement can be appropriate is when we do go through life, and a lot of times we've been through some things, it forces us to go back to the fundamentals, right? It forces us to recalibrate and to understand certain spots in pockets of life where we had the wrong aim. And life is always going to recalibrate you. If you really paying attention, life is always going to put you back on a certain path if you want it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you're open to it. So, again, you know, a lot of times when we go through things, you know, those are the opportunities to finally get it right. Be like, okay, life has stripped me naked. You know what I mean? It took my job. Real talk. Like, we go through bad seasons, man. Your car got repoed. You had to file bankruptcy. I mean,
down
life.
On your luck.
Down. You just down. Losing 5-6 losing seasons, right?
No umbrella under the rain.
It's all of that. It's all of that and some. But obviously, the universe is stripping everything you attached to away from you. It needed to strip you butt naked so it could rebuild you into the person you need to be to get to the next level.
Yeah, because you're like, you have that moment where you're like, how did I get here? And that's when you start analyzing to try to find the answers.
Facts.
You start thinking about the people you wronged. You start thinking about the people you just didn't value that when you should have. And and that is probably the most hurtful thing, when you're like, dang, I wish I did value that person.
It's a Snapple top fact. So
yeah.
Look, this stuff ain't rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. So, like, we're going to start to just wind it down. But I just want to tell everybody, like, look, man, you know, have an open mind in life. This is true even for myself. There were many years my mind was super closed off to anything that I didn't deem valuable, or it didn't fit my ideal. And I was really living in a prison. Until I kept bumping my head and hitting these glass ceilings and stuff like that. I'm talking about within my growth, right? And I had to really strip myself down and really open up my mind to what life can really have for me. And life been beautiful since, man. Like, I really had to just purge myself of a lot of bad information I was taught over the years, man. Wrong information. And life took me to a place I shouldn't have been based on discrimination. Like I say, based on women that I had around, I probably should have had a different caliber of woman. Based on friends I had around, I should have had different friends. You know what I mean? Based on opportunities I took, I probably should have took different opportunities because I didn't have an open mind. You know what I'm saying? And I always like to say it. I know people are going to laugh. That's why Bruce Lee said you got to be like water. I used to always hear Bruce Lee say this shit. No, real talk.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, what that mean?
I used to always hear Bruce Lee say this shit till I finally tried it. I say, damn, that nigga's a genius. Real talk.
And it was so simple, you missed it.
And well, I wasn't ready for the message. I didn't miss it. I heard him. I heard him a thousand times.
You didn't understand it.
But
truly,
but you know what they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So when I like that. When I came into some better consciousness, when I was able to finally receive it, I say, God damn it, the most simple thing really changed my life. I said, you got to be like water, man. Because if you think about it, I used to take a lot of hard positions on things too. When I say a hard position, y'all, I mean, I used to say a lot, I ain't never gonna do that. I used to say, matter of fact,
you were one of them.
Yo, you got about 10 more minutes. I'm gonna get into something real quick. You know
okay. Oh, shout out to Seeker of Truth. Thank you. I like your name.
Yeah, appreciate that $10 super chat, Seeker of Truth. So, yeah, like we gonna go about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
Because I something just dawned on me.
Yay.
So, boom. I had to get my mind right. And I would always hear Bruce Lee say you got to be like water. But, you know, I took a hard position on things in life. When I was a younger man, this is a true story. I used to be so combative. And we can get into the whens, the whys, the hows, and all of that. But I used to be so combative. Friends, women, jobs, whatever. I was the guy. You know what I mean? I always had to have a rebuttal. Why we gotta do this, man? We should do it my way. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of person. You know what I mean? And I realized that shit ain't get me nowhere. I realized I needed to be more lubricated in life. Pause. You know what I mean? Let me go and throw that up in there. Pause. But
how lubricated?
When I realized that the more rigid and stiff and hard you are in life, pause. This thing.
I'm trying, man.
I'm trying. No, this thing that can't be rotted. But the more rigid you are, the easier it is to break you. This is why Bruce Lee said you gotta be like water. And I realized, I'm like, you know what? If I make myself more malleable, right? If I make myself more adaptive to any situation, then other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's actions, whatever, it won't bother me as much.
Right.
So I had to develop a new perspective on life and myself and all these different things. And I'm still working on it. I'm nowhere where I want to be. But what I'm saying is, I used to be the type, like, this is real talk, especially when I was young. Like, if you bothered me, like, let's say I felt like you wronged me, or I definitely felt like I was threatened, I couldn't go to sleep until I went to see that man. This is a true story. And this was stupid foolishness, man. But when I was young, I would knock on people's door, like, yo, like, you said what earlier? And stuff would bother me so much. And this is not healthy, people. But after I liquidated my mind, and I did like Bruce Lee say, I made myself into water as much as I could, given the information I had. Life became a lot better because it wasn't about what people did. I was like, I can't control that, but I can control my responses and my reaction.
Right. That's gold.
I had to learn this the hard way. Why? Because I would constantly get myself into shit.
And the problem about life is that when we're growing up, a lot of times our parents don't teach us like that valuable information. They teach us everything else, all the minuscule things of how to take care of ourselves. But the real lessons like that, I mean, I wish I was taught that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's never too late. You dig? So my thing is just simple, man. Just like when I got asked earlier about some advice that I would give, I'm like, well, it's simple, dog. Like all that energy we spend trying to control this person, trying to control women. Think about half the advice a lot of dudes give online about women is how to try to control them or whatever. Dog, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Control yourself. Control how you respond to a situation. Control how you think about a situation. Dog, if you can master that first, your dealings with women is gonna be superb. Why? Because no woman can agitate you. No woman can throw you off. No woman can appeal to your insecurities. No woman can break you. No woman can use you as far as sex and all that crap. No woman can take you for your money because you in control. But the moment you shift from that to trying to control her and all your energy going to that, you ain't worry about yourself no more. You gonna get thrown off your path, and then boom, you back in the same position. You got to control yourself.
Right.
And a lot of Eastern religion and philosophies teach this. And I don't want to bash on Christianity, but you know, a lot of parts of Christianity nowadays, they ain't teaching nothing about self-control. They teaching that same do me mentality and get the bag.
You'll be forgiven.
You know what I mean? The abundance, but they not really teaching people a lot of the fundamental skills to make it through life, and that's very important.
You know what I don't like? I don't like when people feel like life happened to them, as if they didn't have any control on what they did or their actions. Like it's so annoying. Like I can understand it if somebody got into a car accident and then you're late for work, right? I get it, but like you can avoid certain things, like you know.
That's a fact.
And I think we downplay our role. Like we have a certain level of control of life, and that's a fact. You can make it better or worse.
Well, you know what karma is, right? Karma really is actions that you have put into motions that become set. Meaning, I went to 5 people's house and I stole from them. Right? So now you done set this in motion. So that 5th person you try to steal from, all right, you may get away with that, but you don't understand that that first person is looking for you.
Right. Hell, all 5.
Well, all 5 end up, you know what I mean, trying to find you. But it's actions that you have set in motion based off your decisions. A lot of people think karma is this kind of divine, meet up with life.
Yeah,
No. That's not true. It's actions that you put into motion based on decisions that you made that have finally caught up with you. But again, it's a double-edged sword because karma could be good. You know what I'm saying? You could do good things to 5 different people, and that very first person can come and pay you back. Now your cup runneth over. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, somebody said karma is Cam Newton stealing that laptop. Well, you know what I mean? He definitely starting off and putting himself in position for some bad karma. So that's what karma. We are 100% in control of karma. It's like if I was to get out here and sleep with 5 married women, one of these husbands is gonna come see me, dog.
Yeah.
Or let's say I cheat on my girlfriend I'm about to say 5,000. That's too many. Well, it could happen. But let's say I cheat on my girlfriend 20 times.
Hell no.
And you know, at some point she cheat on me. Well, I set this in motion. I brought the energy in there. Karma is 100% dictated based on decisions we make. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we act like we got no control over our life. And
karma
truth be told,
is choice.
a lot. Yeah. This is one of the biggest issues what I got with Christianity today. A lot of churches ain't teaching nothing about accountability and responsibility. Like if you look at the word responsibility, just look at the word response ability. I have the ability to respond. So any situation, if you got the ability to respond to it, you got to go ahead and make that happen. Responsibility. Look at the word accountability. Accountability. I have the ability to account for a decision or choice that I have made. We can't even get that right half the time.
Nice breakdown.
I mean, all words have meaning, you know what I mean? Break it down, but it's simple though. We can't even get that right.
It's too hard.
I have the ability to account for a decision that I have made. Can't even do that.
I think a lot of it is because we look out to the world. Like we can't see ourselves unless we have a mirror. Even that is crazy. Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, but it goes back to what I said. We don't want a mirror. We don't want to see ourselves. You know what we want? We want confirmation bias. This is truly what we want. As people, we only want to keep people around us that make us feel good. But the truth don't always feel good, dog. It's not supposed to. All medicine don't taste good. Most things that are good for you ain't the best tasting. Truth be told.
Right.
What tastes better? A lot of times, you know what I mean, a piece of apple pie with some warm ice cream or something like that, or some Brussels sprouts. What was better for you?
The Brussels sprouts.
It's just simple.
Just a plain apple.
Yeah, that too. But it's just simple stuff.
Yeah.
That we making complicated based on our biases. But look, man, we got to rock and roll. We've been on here for a long time. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all follow me on Instagram, man. This was the Nerve of You podcast. We call this the therapy episode, man. This was pretty good, man. We just want to chop it up, man. Hopefully, you know, we can help one or two people, man. And if you want extra help, Saturday, May 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the Virtual Self-Improvement Summit. Sign up. Go to Eventbrite/Virtual Self-Improvement Summit. And you can go ahead and sign up. Man, it's going to be pretty dope, man. So, look, man, I urge everybody to go ahead and get it in. And, hey, man, it's going to be a joyous occasion, man. I'm excited for Saturday, man. I want to, speak to people and just holler at the folks. Anyway, we out, man. You know what I mean? I see y'all Thursday, man, for another good discussion. Maybe we have a guest, maybe we won't, but